What is a novel? A novel takes a reader on a journey, challenges perceptions, broadens their understanding, and allows the reader to see things differently. It immerses them in different perspectives that they may have otherwise not encountered. So I'm reminded of a good analogy for the selection of your novel. And that is, a person enters a large group and says, I had a dream, a fascinating dream, really interesting, and I wondered who of you would be interested in hearing about it. And most of the crowd, not sort of wanting to be delayed, said, sorry, got things to do, made excuses and left. Few stayed and said, oh, really? Oh, yeah, tell us about it. They said, well, it's going to require several hours. And a large amount of them said, yeah, can't really, haven't got the time, haven't really, couldn't afford that, I'm afraid. But a few well-meaning souls said, yes, that's fine. Okay, I think I could spare the time. And then the final one is, it's going to require you to pay $14.95. How many are we having left from that original group? Because this is what a novel is, and this is what we are asking of our readership. So it is a good question then to ask, what is a novel and what should it be like? I'm going to talk about Alan Turing. Alan Turing, he was an English mathematician, a logician and a cryptologist, and one of the pioneers of modern computing. He is best known for his role in breaking the Nazi German Enigma code during World War II, and there have been several movies made regarding this. Turing, he was brilliant, although extremely eccentric. His personal life marked him for isolation and persecution and tragedy, making his story both one of triumph and injustice. He was born Alan Matheson Turing, June 23rd, 1912 in London. His parents, Julius and Ethel Turing, were part of the British Civil Service in India, but they sent Alan and his older brother, John, to England for school. From an early age, he displayed an extraordinary aptitude for mathematics and problem solving, often teaching himself advanced concepts far beyond his years. Despite his intellectual gifts, Turing struggled in the rigid English school system, which emphasized classical education over scientific inquiry. This made him socially awkward and an outsider, and his world changed when he developed a very close friendship with a fellow student who died suddenly and tragically of tuberculosis in 1930, a loss that devastated Turing. In response to this, he immersed himself even deeper into scientific study, particularly in the nature of the mind and artificial intelligence, which he would pioneer. Turing studied mathematics at King's College in Cambridge, quickly distinguished himself as a brilliant thinker, and just excelled. At 22, he was elected a fellow of the college due to his groundbreaking work. And his interest in the foundations of mathematics led him to publish a paper in 1936 on computable numbers. And this paper introduced the idea of the Turing machine, a theoretical model that became the foundation for modern computer science. In 1936, he moved to the United States, to Princeton University, to study under Alonzo Church, further developing his ideas in logic and cryptography and computation. And he was offered to stay there, but returned to Britain just before the outbreak of World War II. During the war, Turing was recruited to work at Bletchley Park, which was Britain's top secret ground-breaking, code-breaking facility. He played a crucial role in breaking the Enigma code, which were encrypted military communications. Turing designed a system capable of rapidly deciphering these Enigma messages, and therefore gave the Allies a great advantage. He probably saved millions of lives and shortened the war by several years. Despite his contributions, Turing's eccentricities set him apart. He was known for strange, eccentric behavior of absent-mindedness. He chained his tea mug to a radiator because he was upset at it being stolen. He ran long distances, qualifying for the Olympic marathon team. Following the war, he continued his pioneering work and worked strongly on artificial intelligence concepts, famously developing the Turing test to determine whether a machine could exhibit human-like intelligence. His achievements, however, were overshadowed by his personal life. In 1952, he was arrested in Britain for homosexuality. It was illegal at that time. And this led to a choice that he was given to either go to prison or suffer chemical castration. He chose the hormone therapy and regretted it as it had devastating effects on his body and his mind, and he committed suicide in 1954. Decades later, Turing's contributions were finally recognized. In fact, 2009, the British government issued a formal apology, and in 2013 he was granted a posthumous royal pardon. Today, Turing is celebrated as a visionary who laid down the foundation for artificial intelligence, computing, and cryptography, and his face appears on a £50 note, a symbol of the belated justice given to a man who was once condemned for just being himself. So, what can we say and what can we learn from Alan Turing? He was a visionary, and he changed his perspective to see things differently. And a novel represents a unique perspective. Your perspective as a writer. And so, what does a novel have? It has a narrative voice and a point of view, number one, and that is first person, third person. It also has characterization and internal monologue. So this insight is into the character's thoughts, emotions, motivations, allowing the readers to see the world through your eyes. This can create empathy for perspectives that may be different from the reader's own perspectives. It has style and language, unique sentence structure, dialects, experimental writing styles can be in there, and these can influence the story experience. Some authors use a stream of consciousness technique. Example of that would be James Joyce's Ulysses, or fragmented storytelling to challenge the conventional ways of seeing reality. There's themes and symbolism. Novels explore themes that push readers to see familiar situations in different ways. Symbolism and metaphor help deepen the meaning, often offering layered interpretations beyond the surface events. And we talked about that previously in another video on the 3 levels of approximation or depth. It has perspective shifts and unreliable narrators. Some novels intentionally distort the reality by using an unreliable narrator. So an example of this is The Catcher in the Rye or Gone Girl, making readers question what really is true. Others shift between multiple viewpoints, showing how different characters interpret the same event differently. Settings and world building. A novel can place the reader in unfamiliar worlds, whether historical, futuristic, fantastical, forging them to reconsider their assumptions about reality, society, or morality. Turing was never fully recognized for his important role in the development of the innovative machine that broke the code. The only acknowledgement which was registered, since everybody was under the British Official Secrets Act and therefore could not comment, but one of his colleagues at his funeral said, quote, "I won't say that what Turing did made us win the war, but I dare say we might have lost it without him." Some quotes which do have a great way of giving insight into the person. We can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty there that needs to be done. Another quote, "Sometimes it is the people no one can imagine anything of who do the things no one can imagine." A computer would deserve to be called intelligent if it could deceive a human into believing that it was human. So these quotes reflect Turing, the visionary, his thinking on artificial intelligence and the nature of machine intelligence. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.